Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here under this Bansi Bhat, and he was weeping here, and singing this kirtan, that when a day will come, that I will come to this tree, weeping and remembering the pastimes of Krishna. When I will go to Bhandir Bhat, when I will go to Radha Kund, and I will touch the water of Radha Kund. When I will go to Bansi Bhat, and the very sacred chaya mein, in the shadow of this tree, I will sit and lament for Krishna till separation. Then I will go to Bhandir Bhat and all other birds. When I will go to Mansi Ganga and take water and I will drink. And always remembering Krishna pastime. कब मैं वृंदावन में बंसी बट की छाया में जाकर के बैठूंगा, कृष्ण की लीलाओं का स्मरण करूंगा। ए कौन है, यहाँ से हट जाओ, लो कौन, ए बच्चे को शांत करो। तो these are very sacred places. We are doing one kirtan here, and when I will see that at the time of kirtan and parikrama, if anyone having their hands in bead bag, I will snatch that kit bag. So when we are alone, you can do it, but not at the time of. I will take all bead bags to whom I will see that they are making their hands in that hole, and they are seeing here and there. If you are giving your hands in that, then you cannot never chant, or you cannot do kirtan, because in this sound you cannot do any chant. That is why I am praying you all to do kirtan and to dance in this place, and remember all the pastimes which I am telling to you. The song is like this. Narottam Thakur is telling, when he came to all these places, and he was telling that, oh, when a day will come that I will be Vrindavan Vasi, I will live in Vrindavan, and I will see, I will take darshan of Radha and Krishna Jugal, conjugal. When a day will come that living my husband, living my wife, living my children, all relatives, giving our delicious foods, and sleeping on the very Dunlop beds, very good things, and pillows very soft, wearing so much precious, costly dresses, hairs so carved and well decorated, keeping up all these things, all kinds of desire. When I will come to Vrindavan, here you have come, living your all happiness and all kinds of comforts. Your palatial buildings I have seen everywhere in Western countries, in England, in Holland, in America, Canada, in Bejar especially, everywhere. Like a king cannot enjoy all these things. But now you are roaming here in Vrindavan. giving all happiness and all kinds of bhog,
Enjoy.
sense gratifications, without shoes. But I know some devotees are like that. They like to take more delicious food. They are not satisfied about this food that we are offering to deities. They want more fine rice.
Super fine.
They want so much comforts. They don't want to have any kind of discomfort. They don't want. They want, if they want like so, they should return to their homes and live comfortably where. And very Dehradun rice, rabadi, rasagolla they can take in their homes. We are coming for this, that Narottam Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, never took any delicious thing. Only lafda, benjan, mixture of all these things. Never took any good sweet or anything. These are not the symptom of doing bhajan. At least for 1 month we should try to see what is called these kinds of bhajan, akinchan and niskinchan. Give up all these things, all the desires in your homes and come with me in Vrindavan. So this Narottam Thakur is praying like this. We should give up all the kinds of comforts and all kinds of desires and everything. And then come to Vrindavan and see where Krishna and Radha are conjugal. Lament for this. Feel separation mood here. If you are going all places and we are not feeling any separation for Krishna, in vain everything. So try to realize all these things. So when a day will be that, when we will go and we will rolling on the earth in this dust. He are telling, Kabe brajer dhulaye dhusara hobayanga. We see that these dust are like
Powder.
No. ये लोग सब क्या होता है ना आजकल pollution, and it will make us dirty. But he is telling, I want to roll down on these dusts and whole body will be covered with these dusts. When it will come. So don't try to fear from all these dusts. They will make your heart so clear from all kinds of lust and impurity. Sadarasa bhojan dure parihari. I don't want to take delicious foods of 6 kinds of very delicious, sweet. Sometimes chana that we gave in Madhuban,
Yes, sir. Chickpeas.
without salt or anything. Sometimes fasting here and there, always weeping and feeling separation. So try to be like that. And if you will feel that Maharaj management is not good, we are not having delicious foods, no palanka, very good beds, pillow, and hosting houses not so good, no bathroom, nothing. For 1 month, you should try to forget all things. Then you will realize the glories of this Vrindavan. Parikrama kariya bedabo bane bane. When a day will come, daily I will go to Vrindavan. And I will see groves, I will see mountains, Giriraj, Govardhan, Radha Kund, Shyam, and this is a special place. This is the place. Bansi Bhat is not only in Vrindavan. There are so many Bansi Bhat where Krishna used to dance on the shade of this Bansi Bhatts. Also this is another Bansi Bhatt in Bhandir Bhatt. Here Krishna Vat gopis, all gopis dance so sweet on the bank of Jamuna. Jamuna is here. And they played Ras here also. You know that when Krishna went to Mathura, and all the Gopa and Gopi were so much feeling separation, and they were weeping, lamenting. Sridham, you know who? The brother of Srimati Radhika, came to this place. He began to weep here. If Krishna is not coming in Vrindavan Braja, then I will live here, no fasting always, not taking any food or drinking water or anything. Always weeping, I'm weeping. And he was waiting for Krishna here. That when Krishna will come from Mathura, and then I will go to Vrindavan or Braja or anywhere. So still he was here. For 5,000 years. After that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when came, he saw that, oh, from outside he is golden color, but actually he is Krishna. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they embraced each other. Then Sridham became happy. Otherwise he was so unhappy, always weeping. You will have to be so. Being in Vrindavan, here in all places, and always weeping. When Krishna will come, then I can be alive. Otherwise I will die. Feeling always separations. So this is the symptom of doing bhajan. This is the mode when how we can do bhajan of Krishna. Oh, I will be tired by walking, doing parikrama. And when I will see Jamuna, I will talk, I will take bath, and I will give up all tiredness. I think you are all tired. Some of you are tired. Especially the persons who are so fat like they are tired. Because they are not doing kirtan and dancing. I want that all should dance and do kirtan in parikrama everywhere. Don't tire. But he is telling like so. So, when I will go and sit under the shade, very cool shade of this Bansi Bhatt, and I will cry, weep, and feel separation here. So when AD will come, we should also pray like this. Tavai vasmi najivami toya vina iti vigyaya radhe tang nay mamachar. O Srimati Radhike, O gopis, I want to be your maid servant. I want to serve conjugal Radha and Krishna. So fulfill my desire. I don't want any worldly desire, no sense gratification and nothing else. I want to be yours and yours. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. There is a little pond, it is called Syam Talaiya, pond of Syam. All were thirsty, doing ras, and then Krishna took his flute and make a pond, and it was called Syam Talaiya. In that temple, Sridham is waiting for Krishna. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu came and he meet with them. And then he went to Braj with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaur Premanande. Now we will go to bus and from there we will go to Mansarovar. Gaur.